From Mason City to your hometown, we've got the information you need. Turn us on at home, work, and in the car. AM 1300 KGLO.
It's time now for the Ask the Mayor program here on your hometown news station, AM 1300 KGLO, which we do a majority of the Thursday mornings at 8:30. I know the program in the past had been on Wednesdays for a long time, but we've got some schedules to accommodate with, especially with Mayor Lee in Mason City. But it's Mark Ebeling, the Clear Lake Mayor, joining us today and for his monthly appearance. We welcome you back into the studio.
Great to be back. Thanks.
Well, I think last time that you were here, we were talking about things like a new ice skating rink for the park downtown, and now we're talking about the ice out being declared on Clear Lake, and we do have a little snow in the forecast for the weekend, but things got to start thinking towards spring here in Clear Lake, I'm sure.
Oh, definitely. With ice out, everyone's focus is on summer, but it's going to be a ways away.
Well, some of the things that I'm sure people think about in the spring that maybe we should address. One of those would be spring yard waste disposal. And of course, I know the yard waste disposal site has been kind of an on and off issue in the community. And I guess the best way to put it is, if it's used properly, it's a great thing. If it's used not properly by those one or two people or three people, that's when the city starts thinking we've got to clamp down on things.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's simple rules to follow. If everybody just follows the rules, we won't have any issues. It was unfortunate to no longer offer the recycling, but it turned into a garbage dump, and city employees spent a lot of time cleaning that up, and that had to come to an end. And hopefully the yard waste doesn't ever have to come to an end.
Large item drop off, that'll be next month, but that's been a couple of years that process has changed from throw it out on the curb as compared to 3 days of doing a large item drop off. And I think, and I can't remember all the rules on that, but that has seemed to work better for the public as well as for city employees.
Oh, absolutely. I love the large item pickup. We had a lot of issues with that. Seemed that it was just kind of a dump your garbage out in the yard, and the city employees would then go pick it up. And so I think the drop off has been very well received. I know I utilized it. It's convenient, extended hours and whatnot. And I really think people kind of prefer to not see all the garbage sitting out for a week throughout town. So I think it's working out well.
Well, we'll talk probably a little bit more about that in our next month's program. And just for people to plan April 23rd through the 25th, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And of course, I'm sure street crews are out, looking at where potholes need to be repaired and do a little street sweeping and whatnot. And like I say, still have some snow in the forecast here for this weekend, which hopefully that forecast will not hold true and have to get the road crews out again. But, the city crews are obviously trying to start that thing towards spring as well.
Oh, definitely. I saw the street sweeper running this morning. So that's the second time so far this spring, which is good. And, the potholes are, it's never ending.
Right. It's always going to be a problem, right? Well, since our last conversation on this program, the city council's made an appointment to fill the vacancy that you created when you were elected as mayor for the First Ward council seat. And just talk about Deb Teaser and the process of selecting her as that new councilman.
Like I mentioned before, we had two very great candidates apply. Deb, I've known for a long time. I've served with her on a lot of boards over the years, and she's going to be fantastic. A lot of energy, and isn't afraid to dig into things and learn about what's going on. So I think she's going to be a great addition.
And she's jumped in right away. And of course, the council's had handful of things to look at in the last couple of meetings since she was appointed. Back on the February 17th meeting, one of the things that the council needed to do before the deadline was a grant application for a federal community project funding If awarded, might be used for road and infrastructure improvements for the possible housing development associated with One Vision.
Yep, that application's been submitted. The total project for the road and infrastructure is estimated about 4.5 million. The city would have a cost of 20% of that, but if we can get the lion's share, that would be fantastic and a great step in the right direction.
Always, projects like that, infrastructure is always a big thing when dealing with the city, and that's a never ending. Like you said, with the potholes, infrastructure is a never ending issue in any community at this point too, right?
Oh, absolutely. It ages. I mean, and it needs to be replaced with new and better. And unfortunately, there's just not enough time in the construction season to do it all. But that's something the council set out to do, is really concentrate on our infrastructure. So over the course of the next few years, we'll be chipping away at it.
And maybe while we're talking about commitments and everything, obviously the budget process is continuing, and maybe just talk about the process with getting city department heads together to give their priorities to the council. That way, that budget can be formulated.
Oh, our budget process couldn't have gone smoother. I mean, it seems it's that way every year. Department heads meet with city administrator and director of finance, Jacob, and go through their wants and needs. They're pretty good on the needs. And so we were able to put together a really good budget. We're not going to do anything with the millage rate. We're going to hold that steady. We could have potentially lowered it, but with the uncertainty in Des Moines on what they're going to do, we thought best to just hold everything steady and go that route.
And that's really been, I know the schools have always seemed to always have to wait for what's going to happen with their budgets with decisions at the State House, but it's everybody this year, basically cities and counties as well, because, they've said that was going to be an issue they're going to tackle right away. And let's see, we're 2 months in as of this week, and nothing's happened. And there's not been much movement of the ball down there. There's been a few ideas, obviously, from all sides, but there's nothing that's been solidified that's keeping cities kind of in that waiting period, unfortunately.
Right. Hurry up and wait some more. I would suspect they'll come up with something because it's been talked about for quite a few years. So, but like I've said before, we're in a good financial position, fortunately, so we'll be able to take care of what we need to.
Well, that's good. And, hopefully they get a decision done soon, because then I know the budget process has been pushed back through the years because it's got to be done by the end of April now on the city side. So you have to have those, the truth and taxation hearing, which you're laughing, and I'm kind of trying not to laugh, but I will laugh along with you since you're laughing. That law has been just that part of when that was implemented has not been a good thing. It's just caused more confusion, hasn't it? Because you get a letter in the mail, which basically doesn't say what the city's probably going to do with the tax rate and everything. And then that gets people upset, and they come to that truth and taxation hearing, which happens a couple of weeks before the actual budget hearing. And it's been proven fruitless, basically, hasn't it? I mean, as your experience is sitting on the council the last several years.
Yeah. It just complicates things. Try not to get on my soapbox, but in general,
as well, that's
anything when it comes to taxation is confusing as can be. I mean, really, when you boil it down, and that is, it's hard on people, and there is a way to simplify things, but I'm not the arbiter of all that, but I just wish things were simpler for everyone.
There's always a simple way to do things, but that'll never happen. No. We know that as well. So, but are there specific things in the budget that the city has put together that will be big things concentrated on, the improvement projects and things like that? Or the street by Pine Tree Park. We're gonna do that. Okay.
Which is in serious need.
Yeah.
And then probably Yeah. I mean, we're just, put money away for future projects. So we have enough to spend later on, and then just regular day-to-day maintenance.
Of course, the city's also concentrating on that surf district redevelopment project, and that is continuing along. And the council last week approved a grant application through the state's Community Attractions and Tourism Program for the guitar park. That's part of that redevelopment. And, maybe just talk about that grant application and why the city's approved that.
Yep. So that has been submitted. We're fortunate the county is supporting that as well. Thank you to the county for that. And I have to mention, we're looking at the world's largest Stratocaster, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
So hopefully that comes to fruition. That'll be a nice shot in the arm to help fund that. And so we can really do it right the first time and really have an enjoyable public area where the hotel is in the MAC.
And I know the council approved, we talked about this in the last program, but just a review for people who may not have tuned in, the development agreement for the hotel portion of the Surf District project and the rerouting of, the streets. That was obviously an issue that, let's just talk about that issue specifically. It's an issue that was brought up, and, a good citizen and city government mix of trying to solve that problem. And that was a little strenuous process, but it got worked out. That's the main thing.
Oh, absolutely. I couldn't be happier with the way it worked out. I do like the reroute of 7th instead of closing it altogether. As far as the hotel goes, timelines are tight. We're holding to those, and now it's kind of putting the final touches on, all the parking, and, there's just some tweaks here and there that we're working through. So,
well, that parking, but we talked about the street, the parking too was obviously one of the other big issues that was talked about. And at the end, it was a win-win situation and getting that figured out.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we're adding parking for those existing businesses, which is a big deal. And the hotel will have enough parking. So it's a win-win for everyone.
Maybe just talk a little bit more about, I know some people maybe don't understand why that whole Surf District project was done. Obviously, it's been, a multi-year project, but that was an area that needed some TLC, I guess, for lack of better words. It just needed some things to keep it the area vibrant around the surf ballroom, but also looking ahead for the future of the surf ballroom, because that is still, we talked about 30 years ago, the Snyder family stepped up and saved the ballroom. And when we see several ballrooms throughout the Midwest, go by the wayside and be closed and torn down, but they stepped up. But still, it's time to take care of that area as well.
Oh, yes, definitely. That area supported 5, and I'll call them motels,
right?
Due to the design and what people want in a hotel has changed over the years considerably, and those motels were, couldn't make it. Partly, I think, due to the surf and, how things kind of changed with the surf. But with that resurgence and what the group Nickham's been able to do with the surf has really brought this on. And with a new hotel like the Oaks, I think you're going to see a lot of vibrancy, and you're going to see a lot of that transfer to downtown as well. With it 4 blocks away, you've got a nice street, nice sidewalks to walk downtown, park your car, and spend your weekend all throughout Clear Lake.
Because we know that the tourism season is just not the only time to get people here to Clear Lake. Obviously, people keep, have that in their mindset of May to September or whatever the official time frame is to, for people to come here. But there's still a lot for Clear Lake to offer with projects like that to try to capture everything year round.
Oh, absolutely. And I can't think of who played at the surf last Thursday, but I was told that there were people lined up outside at 10 in the morning.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
But that proves once again, we're glad that was saved 30 years ago. And once again, tip of the cap to the Snyder family for stepping up on that. And we'll start we started with the program. We'll start thinking about lots of different activities going on downtown. And, you look through the years on that too. I mean, 4th of July has always been a staple, but maybe just, looking at some of the events that have popped up through the summer that, Thursdays on Main. I don't think anybody ever thought about Thursdays on Main 20 or 25 years ago. Look at how much that is, blossomed to.
It's unbelievable. And it's packed every Thursday, barring weather, of course.
Right.
We're fortunate that we're able to do all that because there are so many people that volunteer and are so invested in making sure people come to Clear Lake and have a good time that, our volunteers are hands down the best.
Anything else you want to add before we let you go?
I can't
about
think of
Clear
anything.
Lake. You can't think of anything.
Well,
I know. I'm just giving you. I'm giving you a hard time. But no, it's let's just talk about 3 months in. Just over 2 months into your third month as being mayor, and how that transition has been from going to a councilman to the mayor's position.
Busy, running all the time. It feels like. Got a text yesterday. Hey, are you busy at 10 o'clock Friday morning? I should have asked, well, what do you want me for? But, so I've got, it's just kind of a lot of meetings. It's all good. Talking to different groups throughout the community. I do have to apologize to the Evening Lions. I don't know what happened. Maybe a calendar mix up, but I'll be, I think, Monday night going to talk to the Evening Lions.
There you go.
So my apologies for that, but no, it's been good. Without the help of everyone that, all the city employees, it'd be really, really difficult, but they all do a good job and are there to support the town and make sure everything runs smoothly. So, but it's far more busy than the mayor told me it was going to be.
He didn't give you the right description of the job. No. You're still in that settle in period, I think. Yeah. You're 2+ months in. So anyway, we appreciate you as always stopping by. We'll talk to you again next month at this time or thereabouts, and appreciate you taking the time out to join us.
Thanks, Bob.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Mark Ebeling, the Clear Lake Mayor, and that's the Ask the Mayor program for today here on your hometown news station, AM 1300 KGLO.